We have quite a power-packed panel today. Meanwhile, we wait for the other two guests, but I guess we'll get starting. So I'll start with you, Mr. Asad. So India's startup ecosystem has evolved from being funding-led to increasingly being focused on sustainable growth. What, in your view, will separate the startups that survive and scale from those that struggle in the next phase of the ecosystem?
Firstly, thank you for having us here. It's a pleasure. I think, the startups that will emerge as victorious in the coming, decades, etc., will focus less on funding and more on the fundamentals, which pretty much means that you build a product for your customers, something that they like and that you're solving a real-world problem as well. The second part to it is, the startups need to be aggressive, move really fast, and adapt to new technologies like AI, etc. These are the ones which will come out as winners in the upcoming years.
Right. So with AI becoming increasingly accessible, is technology lowering the barriers to entrepreneurship? Or is it creating a new competitive divide between businesses that can leverage it effectively and those that cannot?
I think a bit of both, right? I think, it's definitely with emerging technologies, AI, etc., is becoming so accessible. A lot of people who are thinking of starting up, a lot of founders, entrepreneurs, etc., have access to tools, that they didn't have. On the other side, we see enterprises and larger companies leveraging AI to the fullest. These companies not just have access to these amazing tools, but they also have access to large teams, right? And, being a geo company, it's in our DNA as well to reach out to the masses, to target the 65 million MSMEs in the country. And we've come up with a product which empowers every entrepreneur, every dreamer, every small business to actually have a team of their own, an AI team, right? So with our product Solo, we enable any business, large or small, to run their business completely on autopilot. Right? We give them 2 AI teammates who take care of everything from marketing, social media, ads, and even follow up with your leads and close your sales. So I think, this is the way the future is going to pan out, and that's what we are trying to enable and offer all our, the 65 million SMBs, as I said, a leverage, a decent playing ground.
Right. All right. Coming to you, Mr. Abhinandan. What are some of the biggest opportunities that you see for entrepreneurs who are building businesses around emerging consumer needs and changing lifestyle in India?
In India, we see like people right now don't just buy the products, they buy the outcome. Like people are liking more like family time, spending time with family, doing what they like, right?
Right.
So in Avitri, we also believe the same. Like motion is medicine. More than a product, we promote that each type of motion is a medicine. And that's what the opportunities there, like changing Indian thinking of people regarding the outcome of product. So the entrepreneur can build the products across all categories, what is required to the new generation.
Right. The next question that I have for you is, what is the biggest untapped opportunity in the Indian market today that you believe entrepreneurs are yet to fully explore?
Only one thing I think is the biggest, like India is growing at very great pace. Indian brands should think of placing their brand globally premium. What I feel is the most important factor. And the global presence at premium level will surely bring India more faster ahead.
Right. Do you think AI can help in that area in any fashion? I'm saying, do you think AI can help, bridging that gap?
100%, because right now, like AI has gone to the next level and it's developing day by day more. And it can give you the desired outcome, whatever required, and AI will surely help into it.
Right. Coming to you, Mr. Anmol. So one generic question that I have for you to begin with is, looking at the next decade, which emerging technology areas do you believe could create India's next generation of globally significant companies?
Can you come again?
I'll just repeat myself. Looking at the next decade, which emerging technology areas do you believe could create India's next generation of globally significant companies?
Well, we need to see what we mean by globally significant, right? What is globally significant? It has been different thing in 90s than in 2010. In early 90s, it was IT services, globally significant. And we, Indian companies like TCS, Infosys, all of the companies went pretty well. Then in the next decade, it was more of building onto that, when AWS and all of these technologies were coming. And in this specific decade, it is more of the platform. And we are building everything on the borrowed platform. We are not having anything of our own.
Right. Next question is a little more specific, and I want to delve into the cyber laws. And we were having a conversation earlier also. So, you know, we're far behind when it comes to cyber laws. And earlier we were discussing an incident where a crime had happened in metaverse, but there's no law really that is, that encompasses that kind of crime. So what do you think is the solution to that, and how we can fill that gap?
Discussions are going on in European Union regarding this specific case, which you just mentioned.
Right.
It was a rape case which happened in metaverse. One of its new, and nobody is sure how to tackle that. That it will be tackled by the earthly laws, or it will be tackled by European or global laws. And in specific to Indian case, we are way behind that. In any technology is first experimented and fully utilized in crime only.
Right.
And I think we are way behind that specific part for Indian context.
Right. Another question that I have for you is on data privacy. And so we've now moved from drafting the DPDP Act to actually implementing it. In your view, what will be the biggest challenge to adoption? Regulatory clarity, or actually changing how Indian businesses handle the personal data? And in addition to that, where do you think organizations are currently underestimating the effort?
On the DPDP Act, which
Right.
specifically mentioned, it's not about something specific regulation or any specific product. It would be like UPI. Like when UPI was in the infancy in 2010-11,
Right.
it was a very boring business. It was just solving the boring banking problem. And right now, through UPI, we are solving the global problem. We are doing the largest number of transactions, which history has never seen in entire banking spectrum. The same applies to a DPDP Act as well, and
Right.
DPDP provision as well.
All right. All right. Moving on to you, Mr. Rakesh. India has one of the world's most diverse consumer markets. How can new age business build brands that are simultaneously local in relevance and global in ambition?
I think the diversity of the country is our biggest strength, as it is a challenge, right? So if you are able to succeed in India, and India gives you all sorts of cohorts, and even small percentages of population representing those cohorts are big absolute numbers. So if you do something really well here, it actually opens your doors for global expansions. But how to succeed is something where the mindset plays a very big role. Yes, you need to have a global mindset, and localization should not mean translations. So we cannot just translate a brand philosophy from English into Hindi or Tamil or Marathi. The local context is very important. And I think that's where we can take advantage of a lot of these new technologies which we are coming. I'm a user of Interact for one of my startups, and I recommend that to a lot of my startups. They are doing a fantastic job in creating a platform in which even D2C companies, and when D2C companies are competing with big businesses, these kind of platforms play a huge role because you get the leverage of multilingual support as well as automations and AI. So I think that is the leverage which startups and new companies can use.
Right. All right. So in an environment where consumer attention is fragmented, what will become the biggest competitive advantage for a new age business? Technology, creativity, or trust?
I think technology is hygiene and it's a commodity now. So for me, I think trust and communities will play the biggest role because with so much of content available and so much of kind of homogeneity coming because of the use of AI, I think the trust will where it will stand out with creativity.
Right. Okay. Ms. Sujata, welcome to the panel.
Thank you.
So founders maintain entrepreneurial agility while creating a scalable organization, right? So how, how important is this agility?
Founders have to move from being the heart of the operating system to building the operating system that exists without them. I've seen founders where decision making, everything has to be asked to the founder, and that can delay things. So I think there are two things. If you are scaling up and you have informality, you will not gain the trust of your customer. But if you become over process driven and over controlled, you'll become a bureaucracy. So how do you balance the two, I think is very, very important. My view is that organizations are building innovative products and services that are looking at 5-10 years, but they are building organizations with just the next few months in mind, and therefore there's a gap. I think Zerodha has done it well. They had very clear rules about how to manage the customer. Their governance processes were good. So they managed to be agile even though they have scaled up.
Right. So what role can, mentors, professional networks and strategic advisory play in helping founders navigate the transition from a promising idea to a sustainable business?
A great question. I think a mentor takes you to the balcony. So the mentor builds your perspective. The mentor tells you where you can go wrong because the mentor is not in your organization but outside the organization. The network actually helps you crunch time because it tells you what are the possibilities, what are the mistakes. And sometimes they say leadership is lonely, but if you have a network, you're not that lonely, okay? And if I look at strategic advisors, which is what I do in consulting, we're not required all the time. We're only required to be there during inflection points, when suddenly the new team is formed or succession has to take place or suddenly culture is dragging the strategy down. So I think the strategic advisors help you manage consequences. The network helps you find friends and possibilities, and mentors help you go onto the balcony and ask yourself questions so that you ask the right questions and you find the right answers.
Right. So, what are the mistakes that founders can actually avoid? What are the mistakes that they're frequently making right now?
So first of all, founders, when they scale up, see, when you have 30 people, you know everybody. When you have 300 people, you know the main people, the leadership team. But when you have 3,000 people, you don't know people. So you don't know everybody. So the mistakes founders make is, first of all, they hire people just like themselves. Everyone talks like them, walks like them. So the moment I see clones, I say, ye to gadbad hai. Yahan average mediocrity hoga. So that's number one. Number two, they reward loyalists more than people with capability. And the third thing is, at some point, even you have to get out of the way. You have to evaluate your strategy and your structure and see, am I the right person to lead it, or is there someone better? Is my team, the team that built this, the right team to take it to the next level? And sometimes you have to get out of the way. So I think some of the mistakes they do is, for example, when you scale up, you say, in your company, you say, don't ask questions, just do it. That can lead to chaos going forward. Or you say, we are a family, which means no one takes accountability. So sometimes when we scale up, we must re-examine some of the ways of working and rules of the game and change them so that you have to put the company above yourself. You put nation above yourself, you have to put company above yourself. And at some point, you need to step back and let the right person lead. I think these are some of my observations.
Right. I'll just now come to a question which I want to pose to all of you. So if India's startup story is no longer about just simply having that idea, but actually, sustaining a business model for a longer term, then what is that one ingredient that you need in the ecosystem? Is it capital? Is it talent? Is it policy support? Or is it innovation? Especially given the times where AI is supreme, and like you also said, we cannot operate without AI. So what is that one most important factor?
I think more than one, I'd say three. Innovation, passion, and agility would go a long way. I think everything else falls into place. Governments will keep drafting their policies. We have, leave it in the hands of capable policymakers, ministers, etc. Capital will flow in. But if an entrepreneur doesn't have these qualities of, moving really fast in a highly competitive world, being really passionate about what they're doing, I think it's not going anywhere then.
Right. The same question for you.
Yeah. So one thing I think, right now we see people playing valuation game. But I believe instead of playing valuation game, with the help of AI, it's so easy. People should build the legacy of a brand. Legacy will automatically help in policy, capital, and each and everything will fall in place.
All right.
I have a very Galibified version for this.
Okay.
Just like the Galib said, na, हमको मालूम है जन्नत की हकीकत लेकिन दिल को खुश रखने को ये ख्याल अच्छा है. We know the reality of paradise, but let it be. We are ready to be in that narrative. The same applies to our entire AI ecosystem, that we definitely know what exactly is in global sphere, and we just need to give us a reality check.
Right.
Well, for me, I think the whole objective of startups should change from just raising Series A, B, C, and exit. As long as every founder will be focused on exits, I think we will not create startups which will persist for decades. So if that mindset changes, and if we all decide that we want to create businesses which will run for long run, and maybe we'll retire doing them, that will actually create real value for me.
Right.
Just add on to that.
Yeah.
We need patient capital. That's a keyword, I think, that should be the entire ecosystem of venture capitalists and entire investment spectrum in India. We need patient capital,
Right.
real patient capital, if we really need to see AI startups coming up.
Right.
I guess I get to say the last word on this panel. I think it is ambition for innovation. We're often either looking at exit strategy, like he said, or we are looking at category following. I think we should look at innovations that are best for the world. Why do we need to be so-and-so? I think we need to set standards that the rest of the world should follow. So I think ambition for innovation, I think that's the ceiling we need to break. The day young people say, I'm going to join an MNC and that's my real achievement. And they don't say that anymore, and they say, I want to join and I want to create an Indian startup that is the best in the world, and people across the world will come and join me. I think that's the day we would have really won.
Right. One last question before we end this conversation, and it has to be AI and jobs, because that's the most pertinent thought all of us have. So while there are not enough number of jobs for the graduates we have every year, but there's a problem on the reverse side also, that we do not have the right kind of talent that can actually fill up those jobs. So, in your view, what can be done at the education level or the training level where AI can help us bridge that talent gap? Mr. Anmol, I would like to start with you. You've also written a book on AI, and it's named "We Are Not Behind in the AI Race." So could you share your thoughts on that?
Yeah, my book would be coming in November, and it's specifically on public policy governance and how the new world should be with AI. Now, coming to your question, you are specifically asking what kind of skill set one need in the new AI world, right?
Right.
critical thinking. Because this is what AI is taking from us. They are taking our thinking. With every prompt, the AI is prompting you, now you ask this, now you ask that. AI is snatching our power of thinking. So critical thinking is one thing that should be there. And I think in new education policy, we have some spheres of it, but there should be specific, special focus on critical thinking.
Right. Coming to you, Mr. Ashad.
I think, it definitely needs to start at the grassroots level, at the education level. Introduction of AI in the main curriculum needs to definitely be introduced because we need to give birth to a whole new generation of thinkers, as Amolji said as well, right? I think that's what will help our economy, our small businesses, and the country grow in the long run.
Right. Mr. Abhinandan.
What I believe is whatever age we are or whatever experience number of years we have, learning should be part of our journey. So we can adapt the things which are coming and people don't fall behind.
All right. Okay. Mr. Rahul.
I think AI will not take away all the jobs. I am of a contrarian, view here, because jobs will shift. The primary companies which will face issues are the service providers, but jobs of people will shift from service providers to the companies who are paying to these service providers. So, people will not have big SaaS products because they will have capability of building similar products in-house by hiring people. So that's my viewpoint. And in education, again, I'm seeing extremely good, young, talented engineering graduates. I work with a lot of them. They are learning as early in their first year and second year. So I'm very hopeful of Indians in general. When we talk about AI, I think we need to also break down what part of AI are we talking about. Yes, we can't build foundation models without huge capital, but the derivatives of foundational models is something which I think there's an amazing good undercurrent in India right now. Even in non-engineering colleges, the kind of self-learning people are doing, kids are doing, and they're creating stuff. It's amazing.
I'd like to say that education has to look at three things. One is real life learning. We don't teach people how to invest. We don't teach a lot of things in schools that is required for real life. That's number one. Number two, we don't have enough vocational focus. Unless there are people going to ITIs, there's no vocational focus. And third, we're not teaching our people to think. If we are able to teach people to think and create, then AI will be seen more as an enabler or as a tool to take it to the next level, as opposed to what it is, the fear of being replaced by AI. So I think the way to look at it is to fundamentally look at education so that we are prepared to use the tool in a more responsible manner and encourage our engineers to dream of creating instead of rushing to do an MBA because that's where the money is. I think that change has to happen. The scientific temper has to change. Entrepreneurship is already there in the blood. We just have to sort of ignite it. That's my view.
All right. That was some great thoughts coming in. Thanks a lot for joining us. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.